If you could find your seats, please, we need to get started. This hallowed moment message was written in April 1995 by Mildred Somerton when she was principal here at Wisconsin Academy. It's entitled, "A Time to Search Our Hearts." The years roll on and pile up one by one until we wonder, where have all of them gone? We look at each other on alumni weekend, and sometimes there may be no recognition. And why do some change so much and look so different? How wonderful to clasp a hand and have a flood of memories come rushing back. And the memories are so good and wonderful. Any uncomfortable times or difficulties seem to have melted away with the years. And we find so many precious moments cherished, and how thankful we find ourselves for tolerance and understanding and for forgiveness. Indeed, these have been special moments that we have had together this weekend. The messages so challenging, yet we linger just a little longer at the setting of the sun. A time to let go and let God take over. A time to be sensitized to sins in our lives that are keeping us from a complete surrender. A time to taste and see that the Lord is good. This, my dear friends, is not done in a crowded room. This is done in a quiet place and alone with God. God has valuable blessings within our reach, an immortal inheritance, life that is as enduring as the life of God, the creator of the universe, happiness immeasurable, and an eternal weight of glory. Can we set aside certain indulgences? Do we have controlled passions? Do we have controlled inclinations? Do we have the power to discern and appreciate the value of eternal things? Esau passed the crisis of his life without knowing it. What he regarded as a matter worthy of scarcely a thought was the act which revealed the prevailing traits of his character. His choice showed his true estimate of that which was sacred and which should have been sacredly cherished. He sold his birthright for a small indulgence to meet his present wants, and this determined the after course of his life. This is a time in the lingering moments of this high day to put on the brakes and to stop and investigate our direction. A time to be God's man or woman, a time to be an individual, a time to stand alone, a time to clean out our minds, a time to draw close to God, a time to find the thrill and excitement of a complete commitment and dedication to our God. God grant for each one of us a new, wonderful, vibrant experience of a time to taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed by our association, we say, is this not a time for us to search our hearts? A time to consider the direction that our lives are taking, to recognize that some of us shall never return to this campus under the same circumstances, to realize that we have entered the 21st century, to admit that some of us have laid down our very active lives, that the torch has been turned over to the young and dynamic drive of youth to carry on. A special time for each of us to search our hearts, a time to make necessary changes in direction, perhaps, a time to continue our Christian lifestyle, or a time to make some changes in our lifestyle. I had walked life's way with an easy tread, had followed where pleasures and comforts led, until one day in a quiet place, I met the Master face to face. I met him and knew him and blushed to see that his eyes full of sorrow were fixed upon me. This is the time to make a renewed dedication and commitment, a time to get ready for the greatest of all homecomings. Shall we turn to number 482, Father, Lead Me Day, and stand and sing all verses. Dear Lord, thank you for such a beautiful Sabbath day today. How much greater it will be when we get together in heaven for the greatest homecoming of all. In thy name, amen.